I understand.
Sairam Shekhar Garu.
Sairam, Sairam.
Sairam Shekhar Garu.
Sairam Sujata Garu. Sairam, Sairam.
Sairam Shekhar Garu. This is Anu Mohan.
Yes, Ama Sairam. Mohan, yes.
Mohan Srinivas, Santa Clara.
Mohan.
Anu Mani Mohan.
Okay. Sairam.
Santa Clara.
Sairam.
Sairam Gobi, how are you?
Fine.
Sairam.
Sairam Kumar. Okay, it's 7:01. Let's get started. गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रजवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् तच्छञ्जोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवीगे स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री साईश्वराय नमः हरिः ओम् अग्नाविष्णु सजोषसे मा वर्धन्तु वाङ्गिरः द्युम्नैर्वाजेभिरागतम् वाजश्च मे प्रसवश्च मे प्रयतिश्च मे प्रसितिश्च मे धीतिश्च मे क्रतुश्च मे स्वरश्च मे श्लोकश्च मे श्रावश्च मे श्रुतिश्च मे ज्योतिश्च मे सुवश्च मे प्राणश्च मे पानश्च मे व्यानश्च मे सुश्च मे चित्तञ्च माधीतञ्च मे वाक्च मे मनश्च मे चक्षुश्च मे श्रोत्रञ्च मे दक्षश्च मे बलं च मवोजश्च मे सहश्च म आयुश्च मे जरा च म आत्मा च मे तनुश्च मे शर्म च मे वर्म च मेऽङ्गानि च मे स्थानि च मे परुगुंषि च मे शरीराणि च मे ज्यैष्ठं च म आधिपत्यं च मे मन्युश्च मे भामश्च मे मश्च मेऽम्भश्च मे जेमा च मे महिमा च मे वरिमा च मे प्रथिमा च मे वर्ष्मा च मे द्राघुया च मे वृद्धं च मे वृद्धिश्च मे सत्यं च मे श्रद्धा च मे जगच्च मे धनं च मे वशश्च मे त्विषिश्च मे क्रीडा च मे मोदश्च मे जातं च मे जनिष्यमाणं च मे सूतं च मे सुकृतं च मे वित्तं च मे वेद्यं च मे भूतं च मे भविष्यच्च मे सुगं च मे सुपथं च मरुद्धं च मरुद्धिश्च मे क्लुप्तं च मे क्लुप्तिश्च मे मतिश्च मे सुमतिश्च मे शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियं च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे सीरं च मे लयश्च मरुतं च मे अमृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे नमित्रं च मे भयं च मे सुगं च मे शयनं च मे सूषा च मे सुदिनं च मे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति Shantihi. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies shine and illumine our intellects. May we not hate each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are now in week 34 of Sri Rudra Jnana Yajna. With Bhagavan's grace and immense blessings and love, the study of Sri Rudram in the auspicious third Anuvaka of Chamaka Prashna, the inquiry into the skills, the capabilities, the capacities that we are already pre-programmed with, but yet are unable to even understand, let alone apply them in the context of transformation of ourselves in the collective consciousness of oneness for universal peace. Sounds like a lot of words that are uttered. Why is this not happening? What is the origin of all of this clutter and conflict and the ability to be present to those that we are already pre-programmed with? As we were studying last week, when the apparent thought or so-called mind is constantly strengthening the apparent ego self, we don't need to control it, but what is required is to observe it, to see it, to be completely aware of it in action. And when we are in that space, not with ideology, not verbally, not simply saying it, and not even experiencing, but when we are actually, when that mind is actually in that state, utterly still, it has absolutely no power of creating anything new driven by this ego self. When that mind is not creating, there is creation. In complete oneness. And those aspects, how do we even recognize when we come out of it, is what we are studying in this third Anuvakam. And that state is what is described, that I am, is what is described in this third Anuvakam, starting with Sham Mayaha Priyam Anukamaha Kamaha Saumanasaha Bhadram Sreyaha Vashaha, Yashaha, Bhagaha. All these words we studied in the last couple of weeks. Dhravinam, Yanta, Dharta, Kshema, Dhriti, Vishwam, Mahaha, Samvit. That's 19 different chamas that we have completed so far. And question is, when we reach this state of Mahaha, which I went through last week, thank you all for taking that extra time to understand this Mahaha, which is one of the states above Om Bhu, Om Bhuvaha, Ogum Suvaha. Then the next one is Om Mahaha. And after Mahaha is Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. These are the 7 states associated with the elevation of the mind to that state where it is Satyam, one with that which is unchanging. And that's what the speaker has been describing. What is that state, Satyam? Are there any comments or questions in the context of what we are studying so far to that point, please? Everything is,
Shekhar
yes,
garu, I have a question.
yes.
When you are describing Mahaha last time, you talked about material plane, astral plane, awareness plane, and life force plane. So when Mahaha is sun in material plane, but in astral plane, it becomes Mahaha is the moon. Moon reflects the light from the sun. So why is Mahaha moon here? Can you explain that, please?
Yes, the context of that is that moon, which is completely illumined, the full moon, where it is 100%. It's interesting that you asked that question, because it's what that moon that we're describing is the moon that is this fullness of reflection, of complete reflection of the Aditya or the Suvas. There is no difference. And that moon is the moon that is believed to actually be the source of production of all the herbal oshadhis, as they call. The most important aspect of creation happens with that light, with that incredible light of the moon. That is the Mahas, in that what they call as the astral plane or the Deva Visheshaloka. So now you see what I am trying to describe is the multi-vectorial dimension of how these states, or what are called as lokas, are manifested within ourselves.
Thank you. So the complete reflection of the moon, that is our mind, we become one with the real one.
Let my heart reflect thy light, Lord, like the moon reflects the light of the sun. In love, always in love. Hu Allah, Hu Allah.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Who Allah? Allah who? Thank you for reviewing the notes. That shows that she is actually reading the notes. Reflecting on the notes. Without that, this becomes very simply an intellectual jargon, nothing more than that.
Shekhar, can you please go through about the Dhravinam again?
Dhravinam, yes. Dhravinam chame. Dhravinam means literal meaning of the Dhravinam is the wealth. Dhravinam also means the grace. And the word Dhravinam comes in Devi Suktam, like last week somebody mentioned when I asked where is the Dhravinam, somebody immediately pointed to Devi Suktam. What is Dhravinam? Dhravinam means abundance in or lack of any gap, or it is complete fulfillment of what is required. And this is the one of the attributes of Bhagaha, like we were talking about. That where we were talking about Aishwarya, Virya, Yashaha, Sriyaha, Jnanaha, Vairagyaha, these 6 attributes, that Dhravinam is Sriyaha. There is Dravina, there is Daridran. Daridran, Dravinam, Daridran. A very interesting aspect of how the one who is all wealthy, all powerful, all sovereignty, etc., is the one who has absolutely no mind or thought to take care of the ego self. That is Daridran. Dravinam means the one who is fully capable of materializing anything at the tip of the fingers. And such is also the Acharya, the preceptor, the greatest teacher and the preceptor, Yanta. Not only that, Dharta, the one who supports unconditionally. Dravinam is material wealth as well as spiritual wealth. Ahandadhamidraveenam havishmate supravye ejamanaya sunvate. That is where Dravinam is coming. Ahamdadhamidraveenam havishmate. Those havishmate, that is havishmate, that person who is offering their every thought in the yajna of sacrifice, every thought, havish mate, that mind which is offered as havis in the yajna, to that I will unconditionally give anything and everything needed to support that yajna. Aham dadhami dravinam havishmate supravye yajamanaya sunvate. Samvit. Now we are moving on to the next one. If there are no more questions or comments, Gobi, is that making sense to you, or any other question on Dravinam?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sairam Segarji, so I have one recurrent in my mind. I don't know whether it is connected. Hiranyagarbha in the scripture says no, where it comes in the 7 lohas. No? It is beyond 7 lohas.
Oh, Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the seed state in which the entire manifestation is stored.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yanta is preceptor, Dharta is supporter, Kshema is safety, Dhriti is forbearance, fortitude, Vishwam is universal outlook, Mahaha, which we already went through last time, Samvit, feeling of Samvit means knowledge with what is already acquired. Samvit, in spite of all of this, there is equalness. There is no feeling of inferiority or superiority. That is Samvit. Jnatram. Jnatram means the one who can actually protect what is known. Shrutam me gopaya, as it says in that Shanti mantra. Inborn teaching quality, where it is completely protecting what is that awareness. Suh, sushchame. Suh is inspiration. Prasuh means ability to inspire or manifest that inspiredness that is contagious and will spread like a wildfire. Not only self-inspired, but to be able to inspire others in a contagious manner. You see some people, like as a on a lighter note, there are people that are combustible and supporter of combustion. They have the fire and they also support the fire, meaning that they have the ability to inspire others. There are others that are combustible, but they cannot support combustion. Yes? Do you see them? They are self-motivated, they are self-inspiring, but they have zero ability to inspire others. And then there is a third category, neither combustible nor supporter of combustion. They are not inspired, and not only that, when they come across those that are inspired, even they put that inspiration off. You will find these kind of people very, very clearly all over the world. But what we are talking about is inspired and the ability to inspire others in a contagious manner. Serum. Serum actually literally means the plow. Plow. What does a plow do? The plow has the ability to dig out, uncover, discover. And that's what you use the plow also to take the weeds out. That's what you do in agriculture. In a similar manner, the ability to actually dig through the hearts and let those hearts either weed out or discover what is hidden in those hearts. This is Sankarshanaya. Sankarshana. This Siraha, Siram is I am that which has the ability to plow through. And that's why Hridaya is referred as Kshetra, field. Kshetrajna. Kshetra. Layaha means the ability to becoming one layaha, without any qualities associated with that self. You see all these. So the one which has these divine qualities would not only be wealthy from a material point of view, but also all encompassing from a spiritual point of view. These are the teachers that are great leaders with love and forbearance, dhriti, with universal outlook, Vishwam, can be connected through any plane of existence. They can be connected through any plane of existence. Mahaha. That those planes of existence are not planes of something that we are trying to acquire. Those planes are already exist. From whatever plane or point of view you come from, you should be able to connect with this Mahaha, these Vyahritis as we call them. And with equanimity of thought and awareness, they are inspired and inspire others for a global vision and a sublime mission. With a spirit of harmony, they entice everyone from all corners to be part of the sublime mission. They help each one connect deeper into their self, but yet be grounded in the reality. These are from a point of view of very simply worldly outlook, what leaders do is described in this context. But now, of course, the divine are the leaders and the leadership qualities are divine. So far, so good. As you listen to this, you will see that these mantras are not just some kind of quote unquote impossible, impractical, philosophical jargon. These mantras are completely practical, but yet sublime. That is what we are studying. Any questions? Sai Rama. Somebody has a question. Sai Ram. Dhravinam also comes in. What? Who is that? Mona? Who is typing? Can you please read what you write? I can't read.
Oh, I was just saying Dhravinam also comes in Tvameva Mata Cha
Oh,
Pita
yes,
Tvameva.
yes. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinan Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. That is the prayer. So far, so good. Hello, Sairam. Everybody quiet. Let's move on. The last from 25 to 35. Rutanchame, Amrutanchame, Ayakshmanchame, Anamayachame, Jivatushchame, Dirghayutvancha me, Anamitrancha me, Abhayancha me, Sugancha me, Shayanancha me, Sushacha me, Sudinancha me. Those last 25 to 35. Let's contemplate on those. Ritam. What is ritam? Where does the word ritam come?
Ganapati Atharvshirsham.
Right.
It's a fact.
It's a
Fact.
What is that? What is a fact? Who said that, Sairama? Who is the factual person on the call?
This is Sairam Pawan, sir.
Okay. Ritam. What is a fact? Right.
It's a cycle, rhythm.
Huh?
It's like a repetition, rhythm.
Rhythm. No. It's not connected to rhythm, the English word.
No, it's a cyclic aspect of repetition, ritanchame.
Oh, cyclic aspect of repetition. Interesting perspective. Explain more, brother. That's a very interesting comment. Explain it. What do you mean?
It's like a seasons coming and going in an year. Every year.
Rutu. Oh, Rutu. Rutam.
Rutu.
Oh, Rutu, Rutam. That's how you connected to that word. Interesting. That's an interesting perspective. You see how beautifully the word resonates in the minds of us. Rutu, Rutam. Okay. That which repeats itself. Rutam. Aha. And what is Amritam?
Immortality.
Oh, but in Amritam there is Ritam.
Yes, it is hidden. In Rutam, it is hidden. Amrutam is hidden in Rutam. It is beyond Rutam. Amrutam is.
Okay, now tell me. Keep going. Then what is Ritam? What is Amritam?
I could get only to this extent, sir.
No, you're doing a great job. Now you see, this is why we call this study circle or Yajna. It is not one person that is trying to parrot some stuff, listen to. This is study. Very beautifully said. Ritam, that which you said is repeated, but it is perceived by the senses at a specific point of time and space. Therefore, Ritam is something that is perceptual. Then what is Amritam?
Beyond senses.
Beyond perception. What is beyond perception? That which is now beyond the senses. In the word Amritam, as he said, is Ritam is hidden. It is not perceivable. Ritam is what is experienced. Ritam vachmi, satyam vachmi. Like Ganapati Atharva Sirsham. Ritam vachmi, I am stating what I perceived. Satyam vachmi. Satyam does not mean what is perceived. Satyam is something that is present but yet unperceivable, but is hidden. What is the beautiful example of what Bhagavan has given about this is about the sunrise, sunset. Sun is rising, sun is setting. Is this what is happening, like brother said, in a rhythmic manner, constantly happening in space and creating time, and therefore it is perceived as a fact. But what is perceived by a fact, hidden within it, but not perceived by senses, is the rotation of the earth. Are you physically, sensually perceiving the rotation of the earth? If you do, it is called earthquake, movement of the earth. Are we physically perceiving this rotation? No. But created by this unperceivable rotation of the Mother Earth is the sunrise and sunset, which is perceived, and the day and the night, which is perceived in a constant repetitive manner that the senses can connect to that. In observing that which is perceived by the senses, you have to ask the question, what is behind this? That is the truth and the immortality that is Amrutan Chame. Ayakshmam. Where is the word Yakshma? Where did we?
In the first Anuvakam.
First Anuvakam, where?
Yathana Sarvamid Jagadayakshmagum Subhana Asate.
Right. Where else is the word Ayakshmam coming? Yakshma. Yes, Yakshma means disease. Ayakshmam means free of chronic diseases. Anamayat. Even this word has come before in Rudram. Anybody connecting to that? So when we are chanting this, we chant Yakshman Chame, but it is actually the A is hidden when we are chanting Rutan Chame. Even the word Amrutam is hidden with Mrutam. Rutanchame, Mrutanchame, Yakshmanchame, Namayachame. You have to understand the difference between the cha and the cha. Yes, CHA, cha, and where you say cha, where you say cha. If you say that differently, the meaning will be completely different. If you say Mahachame, then that is a Mahat plus Chame becomes Mahachame. If you say Mahaschame, then it is Mahaha plus Chame becomes Mahaschame. Visarga is what is called, will create Shcha, and if the word is ending with the Ta, then it becomes Cha, like Jagat plus Chame becomes Jagat Chame. Samvit plus Chame becomes Samvichame, not Samvishchame. Samvishchame is meaningless. Samvichame. I know a lot of people are teaching now to children and others That's why I'm elaborating on the difference between how the words are pronounced. There is a swara, varna, matra, bala, santana, sandhi. All these are very important principles of chanting. And even the swara, if you chant higher swara, it means something. When you chant lower swara, it means something completely different. I mean, I don't want to scare you all or intimidate you. That's not the point of it. But the awareness is important. The word ma, if you say ma as higher, just the word, just the letter ma higumsi, right? That ma higumsi, ma there means do not, ma down means our. One letter. If you do as the udatta or anudata, the meaning will change. So why am I going to that? This ayakshmanchame, anamayachame, jivatushchame, anamayachame, anamayat. Ayakshmam is free of chronic diseases. Anamayat means chronic of acute, free of acute illnesses. Jivatushchame. Jivatushchame is a lifefulness, healthfulness, that I am, lifefulness, healthfulness, that I am free of chronic diseases, that I am free of acute diseases, that I am dirghayutvam, longevity, that I am. In fact, dirghayutva means death at one's own will. Death at one's own will. That I am na mitram, no enemies. That I am abhayam, fearlessness. That I am sugam, the easiest path in life. That I am shayanam, restful, completely cool, as they would call it. That I am su usha, sushchami. That I am always awake, sudinam. What are we talking about? All these that I am are actually, for those that don't have these, it can also mean chame means may I be blessed with those. But actually, in the context of this Anuvakam, what we are really saying is that I am is much more powerful meaning for these words that are the mantras that are used here than may that be mine. These are not things that are acquired. Hello. Then the automatic question that comes is, if I am that which is free of disease, that is free of perception, that is free of acute illness, that is healthful, that is death at own will, and free of enemies and all this stuff, then what does it mean? Jesus Christ died at 32. Vivekananda died before he was 35. How do you explain all of those things? Yes, isn't that the question that we would get? Hello. Yes, Sairam. Isn't somebody thinking this question or not? If you are, what are you thinking? If you are not, why are you not thinking that? Or are you blissed out? Am I simply talking here?
Sairam Shekhar, Arun here. So it is, I mean, yeah, I know you said this is not a theoretical thing, but still it does feel that way because some of these uh, things which I am or which are already within me, they seem rather hard to reach, to be honest.
Reach by who?
To bring forth, however you want to think, it's to manifest it in day-to-day action, right? In terms of having a balanced life or being able to do these things, being, say, free of sickness. I myself have plenty of other issues. I have some back issues. How to manifest lack of chronic disease in my own life is not obvious to me. I mean, yeah, I chant the Rudram, they say do the exercise, but to be honest, I'm not able to follow through on it as much as I ideally should be. So I kind of get the theory that yes, indeed, somehow whenever it manifests, it is going to come from within me. But how to accelerate that and somewhat be to have it manifest at the time we need it is not fully apparent to me.
If you take fire and you tell the fire, don't give heat, is that possible?
No.
Okay. If you take water and pour it down and it is going down a plane and tell it, please don't flow from high to low level to a water, is that possible?
No. Those are the nature of those things.
Those are the?
Nature of those things.
Okay. So you're now just what you said. If you take the body and tell it don't decay, is it possible?
No, and that's what Swami's biggest lesson to me was. The fact that he roamed around in a wheelchair is just to tell us that is the nature of things. Even for the greatest body that ever existed, that is the nature of things, right? So
Good. Now, let me keep asking questions. Even though that body was in wheelchair, going around, apparently looking, suffering, whatever, from disease, from our external point of view, did you ever look at Swami only as the guy in the wheelchair?
no, I mean, the less he was physically present, the more his influence grew. This is my experience. Right?
So, what is the Swami you are connected to? The guy in the wheelchair, or the one that was suffering in wheelchair, or whatever? Or what is the Swami you are connected to?
No, it's a force, or it's something that's well beyond that body. Right?
That is ayakshmanchame, anamayachame, जीवातुश्चमे दीर्घायुत्वञ्चमे अनमित्रञ्चमे अभयञ्चमे सुगञ्चमे शयनञ्चमे सुषाचमे सुदिनञ्चमे भगश्चमे भगवान्. That I am. Thank you for asking it. I know somebody has to ask that question, please, because if we don't, then we are hiding behind, we understood everything, but then there is this body that is suffering in front of me. There is this body that is back pain. There is this body that is suffering from diabetes, from blood pressure, and all of that stuff. It is the nature of the body, just like that fire to have the heat and the water to flow down the plane. It is nature of the body to decay. It is the nature of the mind to move. It is the nature, but that is not your true nature. And that I am is what this Anuvakam is That's the reason why this Anuvakam is divine.
So, I guess begs the question. Sorry,
Yeah, no, keep going.
impertinence intended here. Question. I'm still stuck with my back pain. Then I mean, is the question is
who is the I am that is stuck with back pain?
Hey, the I am that's taking Advil. That's all I can say.
No. Who is that? Okay, this is a very important point. You have back pain, and you have a choice to suffer from back pain, or you have back pain. Having back pain and suffering from back pain, if you truly meditate on it, you will understand they're not one and the same.
True, but by certain people, I'm often accused of just being completely ignoring all my problems and just running around doing that and this.
No, you're not saying I don't have back pain, but I have a choice to suffer from back pain or not suffer from it.
True. It's just a part of living. So it's there. I guess what I was. So the fact that this bigger being, that is what we are, at least the one that is Shanchame Maeschame, right? The whole Anuvaka, that being, that presence, which is of which we are a part or of which we are a derivative, however we may.
No. That we are. Not we are. I am a derivative. I'm very simply I'm just a derivative. I am. That means that I'm. No, that we are actually. That we are is what you're saying. That I am. Shanchame. That I am. Mayaschame. That I am. Ratanchame, which is perceived. The pain. Amrutanchame, beyond the suffering. Ritam is the back pain. Amrutam is no suffering. Ayakshmam, that I am. That I am is free of any disease. The I am is free of disease. What is diseased? The body is diseased. Because you just went through the story of Swami coming in wheelchair. Swami did not say that, look, I am that divine, let me cure myself and now I'll get up and da-da-da-da-da-da. He cured a lot of people, but when it comes to his own body, he obliges the laws of the nature, and that is what we're talking as. That I am is beyond this body, that I am is beyond this mind, is what the divine is. And the divine don't, whether the divine as in a Jesus, the divine as in a Moses, the divine as in a Bhagavan, the divine as in a Buddha, all their bodies went through Yakshmam, Amaya, all those things, the pain, etc. A Ramakrishna, a Ramana, we can keep on going, right? Are they real examples in front of our eyes, or are they philosophy, Vedanta and theory? Are they Vedanta and theory? Are they real life examples, Arun?
Oh, yeah, very, very, very real. I mean,
Okay. So is this theoretical or is this practical truth?
so I don't want to take up too much time, Shekhar. Just
No. The time is not a problem. What is very important is this yajna. What Arun is talking is there are whatever 50 people on this call. I am pretty sure at least 50% of the people on this call are going through the same thing Arun is going. And Arun is not the personal thing here. Arun is the collective representation of that awareness. So don't worry about that piece. Time is there.
so when you went through the Chamakam, you said, well, look, it's not just about some altruistic, let me be a good person, let me do all sacrifice, but it can also be a materialistic thing. Right? Say like, look, I want with them. That, I mean,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So when we talk about like health and all these types of things, so is that so the perspective that you laid out is that we are that bigger, the one that goes through the pain and the one that is Mutam and Amrutam, both are, we are kind of beyond that. So is there just from a very selfish perspective, is there an angle by which I can tweak the Chamakam to heal the back pain?
Well, the question is this. It's like then asking the fire, just give me the light, don't have the heat. This is the most important point, Arun. Thank you for dwelling on this. This is the most important point we need to get to. When we live in the relative world with our body and mind, we think that the spirituality stuff is somehow an incredible, miraculous cure that would actually done some miracle so that we don't have any disease anymore. We don't have this anymore, that anymore. That is the misinterpreted aspect about spirituality. Spirituality does not deny the relative reality. It is in the relative reality, but not being affected by it. It is having the pain, but having the choice of not suffering from it. That is spirituality. Having the pain, but executing that empowerment and the choice that you're already bestowed with of not suffering from it, including suffering from happiness.
Thank you.
Yes, is that thank you for thank you. Thank you for. So the context of what we are really talking about is all these attributes in this third Anuvakam is truly affirmations that who you are is actually all these things. That real self is the one that who you are, the one who is beyond the senses of perception, but yet hidden in the truth of the senses of perception, always at ease, free of dis-ease. When you lose the ease of the self, then you get the dis-ease. Lack of ease is disease. And the ability to be and not be going, let the body go through it. What is the body going through? The disease, because the body is the one that is not at ease. And yet, having that ease of a life that is at ease, that is always at rest and not arrested, always rested and not rusted or arrested. Sorry for using so many words with pun, because in these words that we use is already inherently pre-programmed that awareness, shayanam, rest, opposite arrest, not arrested by the worldly matters, stifled by them. And when there is the obstacles or the challenges or all these things that are hitting us, we are arrested. The mind is somehow stifled. It cannot, and it is its nature to be stifled by all these alarms, but you are not just that. Then who are you? Su Usha, always awake. Sudinam, always aware. Ever present, ever awake. Be alert. Be awake or aware. Uttishtata jagrata prapravaran nibodhata. Uttishtata is susha, su-usha, jagrata, sudina. Brothers and sisters, how beautiful the words are, and when you look at the words, what they are raising our awareness to. Dina is the word you are using in a colloquial sense for day. Dina. What is Sudina? Dina is when you are awake. Sudina means you're always awake. Jagrata. That's why it's called Jagrat. Jagrat. Jagrata means, hey, be aware, be aware. That is what is Jagrata. Sudina means you are constantly aware and present. Sudinanchame. Su Usha. We are always saying good morning, Suprabhata, good morning, good morning, good morning. The word good morning really means that something there is good about it. No, there is always only good about it. There is nothing called bad morning. Why we say good morning in the culture, at least from which I come from, there is nothing called, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. That means you're constantly telling this guy there is always good for it, look for it. But the point is, when you are aware and awake, Su Usha, Su Dina, what is the need to be told? This is good, this is bad. Bombarded. I'm not trying to criticize or put down the other cultures or whatever it is. I'm just trying to say, for the one who is constantly aware, constantly awake and present, what are they aware about? What are they awake about? It doesn't mean that they are in their awareness and awakeness, they are ignoring what is happening to the body, what is happening to the mind, but they're aware. Oh, this suffering is related to the body. Yes, there is a pain, but I am doesn't have to suffer from the pain. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. Did Jesus get hurt when he was nailed to the cross and beaten up with whips? Did his body get hurt? Of course it got hurt. Did Jesus cry in pain? Yes, he did. Of course he did. But yet Jesus was aware and Jesus was awake. And so much was this awareness That when people came and spit on him and whipped him, he said, Father, please forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. What is in that statement? What is in that statement is that, Father, they are people that they think that hurting my body is hurting me. I am not the one that is hurt. I am not the one going through that. That I am is not the one that is going through that suffering. That I am is blissful, ever present, ever awake, ever inspiring, ever healthful, ever cheerful, ever not diseased. If that Jesus was deceased, he won't be alive after 3,000 years. That Vivekananda deceased won't be still alive in the minds and hearts of the people, still Jivatuschame, Dirghayutvanchame. Vijay Nair, lot of stuff written. What are you saying, Amma?
Saram Shekhar. It's we chant the Namakam to detach, and then Chamakam is to get all these health, progeny, wealth, grains, and there's a deeper meaning that the desires. When you go into the I am, as you rightly put it, everything is fulfilled from here, but it is the chanting. The Vedas is a sound vibration and it affects the DNA. So you get the bliss inside and your desires, you're going after a lot of things, thinking they're going to give you happiness. It just goes away. It just removes. And that's why I'm getting out of this Chamakam classes and, the study of the Chamakam and the Vedas. It affects your DNA. It's not a simple thing. And we heard from our teacher again from that this Garbha Samskara, pregnant ladies who are chanting in a particular way, they can get the attributes of the child. Attributes, not, he's going to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. No, it's an attributes. Very, very powerful. Under a tutor or under a teacher. Sairam.
Thank you. Yes. All of that already happens. There is no need to pay specific attention to that and then try to solidify in your mind that I do this, therefore I get this, therefore. Now that while anyway it is happening. Anyway it is happening. That is right. When you are engaged in this awareness, it is all happening. Chame, 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 chame. You are not seeking it. It is what is happening. Like there is a misinterpretation of people of what are called these phalashrutis. After we chant certain suktas or stotras, etc., there is this phalashruti. Phalashruti means not that this is what we are seeking from chanting this stotram or suktam or whatever. Phalashruti means the efficacy already happening, whether you know it or not. It's happening. It's just like taking a medication for blood pressure. Whether you know whether it is an ACE inhibitor or a angiotensin receptor 2 antagonist or beta blocker or whatever it is, whether you know it or not, it is happening. Chame, chame, chame. Then why do I need to chant? Yes. Anyway, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Interesting. What are you saying? Bhagavan and all others are what?
No, they don't have any body conscious, right? So as you said, they are pure source of energy or whatever. So that's why they don't feel any pain or anything, as you said.
No. They feel the pain. They don't suffer from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As you just said, even Jesus felt the pain, but he doesn't suffer from
Yes,
it.
that is so. That is the trap that we go into. That these Mahatmas or whoever, whatever, that they don't. They do the body. Their body is the body, just like the fire is the fire, the earth is the earth, the water is the water, the nature, the prakriti, its characteristics, they don't change. Asangoham, asangoham, asangoham. I am, that aham is asanga, is not associated with it. I am is not associated with it. But the body is, as long as I know I am not the body, I am not the mind, then those are there and their nature is manifesting. And that is the beauty of what we are studying. That is the most important piece. Yes. Any other questions, comments? Beautiful satsang today. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you for being present. Hence, we conclude this third Anuvaka today, the Shanchame, Mayaschame, and conclude with Sham and Maya, conclude with Su-Usha, Su-Dina. Conclude, start with what is that point of view of happiness in a relative sense and the happiness that is in absolute sense, and conclude with be aware, be awake. Su-Usha, be awake. Su-Dina, be aware. Be a. Sham Maya, concluding with be a. This is the essence of third Anuvakam. Who we are is Ananda. And what is Ananda? Be aware, be awake. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapravaran Nibodhata. Wish you all a wonderful Hanukkah that is celebrated. The context of the light that is present. And Israel, the struggle that we are going through, that struggle to truly connect to that awareness, constant struggle to be aware and to be awake is Israel. That's the meaning of the word Israel. Constant struggle to be aware and to be awake. Jai Sai Ram. समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु 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 समस्तलोकाः Sukhino bhavantu samastalokaha Sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Sai
Sai
Ram.
Ram to all of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Shankar garu.
Mantra Sara.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Baba.
Thank you.
Sai Ram.
Very
Thank you.
much.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
Sai
How
Ram.
are you?
Great. Great.
But how do you say how are you in your language?
Kakosi.
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 Kakosi. And then how do you say I'm fine?
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm Baba.
No, what? How do you say that in your language?
What?
How do you say I'm fine in your language?
Ja sam dobro.
Oh, dobro, dobro. Okay, dobro.
Dobro.
Very good.
Okay.
Bye, Sai Ram.
Bye, Sai Ram. Sai Ram.